welcome back to this 360 vlog series. I'm back in the Netskope St. Louis office, and I'm sitting here with one of our interns that is halfway through really an internship program here in St. Louis. Jared, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Jared Hawkins. I started with the internship here January, and it ended in May. I then proceeded to get an offer to be a contracted position here, starting off in the SOC, becoming a SOC 1 analyst. This was all kind of portrayed through the projects and the drive that pushed me to really succeed.
Yeah, so I mean, you did one term here, and essentially what we did was extend you for another term through the summer, with longer hours, because you're essentially, not in classes anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you think school prepared you for the internship?
School prepared me for the internship. The biggest part that school did was really help me drive to understand key terms, understand how to build, type, present. Being able to talk in front of board directors was something that I never thought I would be able to do. But the fact that school taught me how to present video and in front of people made me realize that as long as I understand what I'm talking about, it's comfortable, and you can really expand on what you're trying to talk about.
But you're not going to necessarily know everything coming out of school, right?
No, and that was one of the things that kind of had me to a halt. Was I didn't know much about programming. It was something I never was really exposed to. I took classes that were a part of the criteria, but never really understood it fully.
So what would be one piece of advice you'd give students out there who are learning to become cybersecurity experts? What is that one piece of advice you give them?
The biggest thing is use summers wisely. I did not need to. I didn't want to because I thought I was on the right track. I wasn't fully submerged with what cybersecurity was, what it entailed, until I got this internship. So being able to have that knowledge of just taking as many classes as you can towards programming and being scientifically knowledgeable in that area to be more hands-on can give you diverse pathways within technology, instead of focusing on just one specific route. Yeah,
I think coming into a practical experience like an internship here, and I mean, I would say it's not a easy internship, but it's also not difficult. I think we've always said, do as much as you can, learn as much as you can while you're here. How has that played with you during your experience here at Netskope?
The biggest thing was really taking something and diving deep with it. When you first get projects handed to you, you don't know where to go. You kind of are scared. You don't know how to approach it. But once you start getting to understand the knowledge and pick different people here at Netskope, I mean, you pick their brains, you ask them questions, and they can take you down many different routes. The biggest thing was doing a threat hunt with my rotation with TVM, and I was able to find a gap within our client, and that led me to go onto a red team experience and work with one of our teammates about that and work with him in a VM to look what it is doing and how it could affect Netskope. So I was more taking a threat hunt into a red team kind of exercise.
Yeah, so that's way better than doing a typical internship where maybe you're getting coffee for people, right? Or doing documentation.
Yes.
Or just doing really simple run books. I think really try to expand your capabilities and experience with whatever internship you guys are doing. Jared, thanks a lot for spending the past term with us and then extending through the summer. Looking forward to seeing where you end up at the end of this term, and maybe you can work yourself into a job here at Netskope.
I'm excited. This company is, if you guys want to go after companies that are small, that are starting out, it will help you get in the hot seat fast. They will help you realize that you could do a lot more and you know a lot more, and they can teach you so much more. And just understanding to go out there and really expand on the internships, kind of set guidelines, take those and break through them and do way more.
All right, cool. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
All right, guys, this next segment is with another intern. Actually, the other intern that just started, right? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, this is my 4th week. So.
All right, Parker, do you want to introduce yourself, what school you went to and are going to, and what you're studying?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Parker Burton. I'm a student at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. I'm majoring in business and cybersecurity, and I am working at Netskope as the GRC intern.
Oh, right now. I think there's a rotation that you'll probably do.
Yeah, I'll rotate, but right now my duties are mostly GRC.
So what would you say your experience was going from, being a student and applying to our internship program and then officially starting here? How was that whole process?
Yeah, so applying a lot of my coursework, a lot of it's just learning about processes. And so there was a little bit of cybersecurity knowledge that came in handy when I'm working on projects. But a lot of it's just learning how to learn at Netskope, I think.
Well, you had something pretty unique. When you say projects, you actually did a lot of personal projects and clubs. Do you think that helped you with getting an internship here at Netskope?
I would think so. It definitely helps with just self-managing some of the work stuff when you kind of have a little bit of experience and you're able to demonstrate that, hey, I do know some project management skills and take initiative on different activities and clubs, or if you're working on software at home or whatever, then yeah, I would say it definitely is a big advantage.
Yeah, now you're in your final year, right? So you're a senior. And when do you graduate?
December, if everything goes correctly.
So in about 6 months, you'll graduate. Do you think starting internships earlier, like in your freshman year, we do bring in interns earlier as well as in your senior year. Do you think starting at the freshman level would be helpful for you in your education?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think for me personally, it's all about experience. And so the more hands-on experience you have, especially at Netskope, where they really encourage you to try things and figure it out on your own. And as soon as you kind of get into that mindset and have that hands-on experience, the better. It's pretty beneficial.
Yeah, well, you haven't really experienced a full internship here yet. Yeah. So have you been able to set goals? So the first term will end in about 3 months. And there's potential, depending on timing, to extend you out to another 3 or 4 months in another term. But have you set out goals for yourself in that first term and what you'd have personally accomplished in about 3 months?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just for me getting acclimated, because this is my first internship, and so I wanted to make sure, get into the flow of the office environment, understand ticketing systems, a lot of stuff like that. And I think for internships, if it's your first internship, a good first couple weeks is just kind of getting used to that office environment and that workflow. So yeah, I would say in terms of planning, a lot of it is just understanding how to work on a team and communication and stuff. And so
And mostly in person too, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so, I'm in hybrid. I try to make it mostly into the office every day. And so,
What would you say? I think there's a lot of people who say, I only want to work from home. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't feel particularly one way or the other about it. Personally, for me, I like working in the office most days of the week. Fridays I might stay home or whatever and work from home. But for the most part, I think being in that office environment is sort of beneficial, at least for me, because it gets me into the mindset.
Yeah. And you get to build the personal connections better.
Yeah.
We did interns fully remote through COVID, obviously, and I think we've struggled with some of that personal connection. This is my second time meeting you in person. First time was the interview, and now you officially started. And it's just good to be sitting across from you physically.
Yeah, you kind of have that personal connection, and there's some social aspects to being in an office that you might not get if you're working 100% remote. And so, it's going to be different for everybody, but for me, I personally like being in the office.
All right. Well, Parker, good luck through the rest of this internship here in the summer.
Great.
At Netskope. Looking forward to your progress.
Great.
And good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, hey everyone. So we just wrapped up speaking to 3 of the interns here at Netskope in our St. Louis office, and I wanted to introduce you to my last guest. This is Erica, and Erica wears multiple hats. One of them actually is running our internship program within our cybersecurity department. Do you want to talk a little bit about that program and what you do for it?
Sure. So each semester and summer, we take usually 2 to 4 interns, and within that internship program, we actually give our interns exposure to a lot of different elements within our security team. So they get to see how like a SOC works, how our TVM works, how our GRC team works. So they even get exposure to our Netskope on Netskope team, where they get to actually see how we use our product and what we do with it here on our security team.
And we bring in different levels of interns, right? I think when we started this internship program 4 or almost 5 years ago, a lot of the interns were in their senior year, but we've gone much sooner. Like we spoke to one today who's a freshman, and we also have high school students that come in and out.
Yes.
What do you think of those different levels of interns? And because it's a challenge for us, but it's also a challenge for them.
Yes.
How do you think that is for our program and for their development?
Sure. So I think one of the things that I've gotten better at doing is when the interns come in, I ask them kind of what is their goal for themselves from our internship. So I kind of get an understanding of what they want to do and what they've kind of set for themselves as a goal. But I also make sure that they are able to understand the work. I touch base with them weekly to get a feel for their understanding, their confidence level. And then I communicate back and forth with our team that they are on, if they're in the SOC rotation or a TVM team, just to make sure that everyone's kind of on the same page, has some transparency. And we kind of set the work guidelines as kind of where they're at in their education process.
So is it different? Like, would your expectation from a high school student to a freshman to a senior, are your expectations different for each of those levels?
In a way, but also not. I expect all of them to try their hardest. I expect them to get uncomfortable and learn new things. Yeah, my expectations are a little bit different as well, because I think that a senior level student should be able to perform probably 90% of the tasks we give them mostly by themselves with a little guidance, where our freshmen might be more project-based and we kind of help them along the way a little bit more.
Okay. Any tips for students who are looking for internships? Like, how would they be successful in applying to an internship, and how would they stand out in the interview process?
Networking is huge. Whether you network at school or at a a networking event. A lot of security companies have networking events, or in the region have networking events. Don't be afraid to ask your professor or the dean of your university. Get out there, listen to, we go out and speak to universities and to high school students. If you have the opportunity, go there, listen to what they say, stay afterwards, talk to them, ask questions. But I think that mainly put yourself out there. And I think that every student, specifically at the university level, should at least have one internship before they graduate.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. One of the previous interns, like in the interview that we're doing for this video, had said he was emailing our CISO directly and emailed him 3 times. I said, I think that's probably the worst path, is going directly to the CISO. There are people like us and Erica who run the internship programs. Seek them out, because those are your pathway into a program like this.
Yeah, I think that, ask your classmates if they've done internships before. A lot of our interns have been referrals from, students that they knew that were in their classes, that they'll say, hey, check out Netskope, and their internship was great, and I got to do X, Y, and Z. I think that that's just a great opportunity to learn from classmates, from your teachers, and go to a conference, meet new people, and, extend an olive branch.
All right. Thanks, Erica, for joining me. You guys, if you're interested in applying for an internship with us here at Netskope, I'll put Erica's information below. You can reach out directly to her. And hopefully this is educational for all of you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks.